Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns 2. Today we have a very hype match for you. It is another losers bracket match, so sadly one of these runners will be going home. It is Illus versus hXcjedders. It is losers bracket round 4, and today I am joined by Recitador. How you doing today, Recitador?
Doing pretty good. Ready for a whole day of entrance randomizer.
Okay, and today I will be joining you in commentary, and it looks like they should be getting off to the start soon.
So Illus is seed 44 and Jedders is seed 80, I believe. I know Jedders is really big with glitch running. Illus, I think, has done a lot of open and standard before this tournament. I think they've done entrance occasionally, but have just been doing it more for this tournament, obviously. So this is not their go-to necessarily, but they both are pretty strong runners, so it should be interesting. Both starting on Link's house, and it looks like, well, we're going to get a Houlihan. Yeah, I think we're getting a double Houlihan. Here we go. So this allows you to check the Witch's Hut, which is an entrance that kind of sucks to get to, and get you 225 rupees after you check the drop down in Houlihan, which can be great for buying early bombs and the bottle vendor item and just various resources and hints and whatever else you might run into. So it looks like we'll be seeing them do the same thing for a minute anyway, and then we'll see where they want to go after that.
Oh, already finding Ice Palace.
Right, and hint that is, I mean, semi-useful, I guess. It allows you to skip the one house entrance there that you, but I mean, it doesn't really save you time overall, because I think that's the one that you don't have to mirror to.
Okay.
Looks like Ganon is at the ferry today.
And it looks like Illus is going to go for the Houlihan just to get a little bit of cash.
Jedders, interestingly enough, choosing not to do so. I don't believe I've ever seen anybody fake flipper up there before and then neglect to Houlihan. That's different. Yeah, Sync start with just a piece of heart, and Sanctuary is in Kakariko today, so that'll save us a little. Looks like Illus doing the... Oh, Jedders not going to get hurt too bad by not Houlihaning, at least. Jedders doing, or Illus doing the other potential opening that people like to do. Check a sign up here, kill the guard, check the tree pool, and check this. Got Uncle here at the castle, so he's able to just walk right in. Gets a small key to Skullwoods, which is helpful for routing, but not necessarily actually required. But the boots.
Oh,
so
wow.
That is really good.
Yeah, early boots are always nice to have.
And Jedders finds King's Tomb here in Kakariko. With the big key to Swamp Palace. Not going to help him out too much to start with, but nice to have in your pocket when you actually get in.
Okay, and I'm gonna, let me just check on these. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now we got some sound.
So looks like Jedders found Paradox Cave in the normal Chicken Lady Hut. However, doesn't have any bombs. He could drop down there and buy bombs to use as weapons against the mini Moldorms in that cave, but he does not have any bombs right now at all, so he's gonna have to hold that off. Also finding a Genis Cave, and same problem, no bombs, so we're gonna have to table that for now. Trying to get a 50-50 out of these bushes here. Only one bush actually gets you a 50-50 in that set, though. and finds Sahashala, yet another thing that you need a bomb for.
Oh, and
So
almost...
this is really not working out for you.
Okay, looks like Ice Palace is the green pendant, and it looks like Jedders almost forgot to ask that question before he headed out.
The runners are finding a lot of things they need to blow up, and they are unable to do so because they have no bombs. But it looks like Jedders is just going to go ahead and walk down here to these 50-50 bushes. There are actually 2 over here, so this is a little bit better chance than the one pile of bushes that he...
And Illus just finding the big key to Swamp Palace in what was King's Tomb. Oh.
So far, no love for the bomb bushes here. Oh, we finally got one. Illus actually demonstrating that you don't need bombs to get in the back of Sahasra, so getting instantly rewarded with bombs.
Yeah,
so having boots
13 bombs.
Working out really well. So the boots really paying off for him in that case. Jedders picking up a bunch of bombs and is going to immediately get 10 bombs from Sahasra, so that's going to be kind of funny because he's going to not be happy about all the time he spent picking up all these bombs.
And Agina's Cave having the Bloomerang, which actually isn't bad because when you don't have any weapons, at least having a boomerang helps out.
Alright, so this is what we learned was a fortune teller earlier, but I guess Jedders... I don't know if he checked that hint actually, or he just didn't realize which one was the Eastern. Find the smiths in the bombable huts. We can't do anything with that, but it's nice to know where...
Just fairies in the library.
Alright, so now Illus is in Paradox Cave with bombs. Could in fact go in there and kill those mini Moldorms. It's a little tricky, but very doable just with just bombs. Doesn't want to do that just yet. Maybe scouting out to the rest of Kakariko to see if they can find a weapon that's a little bit easier to deal with than just...
Oh, and Sick Kid not too far from where he usually resides. So if they do find a bottle, that'll be an easy check.
And that was either the fairy or the bat at the well. I missed which it was. It was...
Oh, anyway. It looks like in Kakariko, some of the buildings are just playing musical chairs. Oh, and the flippers in the Cuckoo's Hut.
The boots are at the Castle Drop, which is the uncle today. Alright, well, we found a bomb shop. A little too late. So. And the back of desert.
Oh, and the boss entrance. Oh, and Hookshot Cave.
And Illus can actually get an item in logic here with these boots that Jedders is not going to be able to get at first. We'll see if it pays out.
And if he can hover, he can actually get all the items. But it
doesn't look like that's on the agenda.
No, not for today. Oh, he's going back in. Oh, he must be checking the oops. Oh, nope, just wanted that heart.
Well, meanwhile, Paradox Cave immediately paying out with a glove, so
nice find.
That's nice.
Oh, and it looks like Illus is going to go into Paradox Cave and get his glove.
Ooh, Jedders taking a death. Yeah, it can be a little bit hard. I mean, Sanctuary is in Kakariko, so it's not really bad. But it can be kind of hard. You kind of go in and place a bomb, like, slightly to the left of the door. And I usually put another one to the right, and that usually takes care. And then you just kind of have to dodge a little bit.
Okay.
You can also just throw one right here in the center. That's also good. Missed that last one on the right.
So, map to Skullwoods, $50. Small key to Skullwoods.
And that's both small Skullwoods keys already. That's interesting.
Ooh, first bottle. It's a kid. And a GT small key.
So the Skullwood small keys are not needed from a practical standpoint, but having both of them early could indicate that Mothula is on the agenda sooner in the seed than normal.
And Illus taking a fall and not able to check that upper paradox connector. We're actually going out the right entrance of Desert Palace. It looks like he's going to check Aegina's Cave to see what that is. He's finding Desert main entrance. Everything seems to be a little shifted. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna say he's got the boots and he's got a glove, so there's no reason to put off checking all this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it can be a long trek without the boots. Oh, looks like he's going to restock. Free bombs are always nice.
Meanwhile, Jedder's going to take this bottle immediately to Sick Kid. Him being nearby, that's pretty understandable. The small key to Hyrule Castle, which, again, helpful for routing, but not necessary.
Oh, and Dungeon's Palace and Turtle Rock are our 5-6 crystals. Oh, and Checkerboard Cave having the blue mail, which is a nice find since they're still on, well, it's not that long in, but they're still on 3 hearts, but they've been going into a few nasty places.
Yeah, Jedder's finding Hookshot Cave, but doesn't have the boots, so will not be able to get that shovel, which we don't know if that's going to matter just yet, but we'll see here in a few, hopefully, with Illus check.
Oh, and Mini Moldorm Cave has changed into Super Bunny Cave. But deciding not to go through there since it is a one-way trip.
Yeah, again with the boots and the gloves, going to just take this all the way to South Shore and check those entrances down there. Also has the flippers though, so it wouldn't be that hard to get to the South Shore entrances later. I'd be pretty tempted to just go through Super Bunny Cave right there, because it's not going to be really hard to get over here later.
And it looks like Illus is going to check out the Ice Rod Cave area. Open fine. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we got Spiral Cave there. Only 3 hearts, but blue mail, so it's not going to be as bad to get through, even without a...
So they're finding a lot of decent connectors. Oh, and Blind's Hut. That's a nice find. And it looks like Jedders found Pod.
That he did. Only 1 item in Logic currently here. Does know how to do the Mimic Clip, I'm pretty sure, so we may see the right side from him.
Okay. Oh, small key to Pod in Blind's Hut, as well as 2 heart containers, which actually at this point in time is a nice find. Oh, 3! So he is up to 6 hearts now, Illus is.
Yep, looks like Jedders is going to go ahead and go for the Mimic Clip, so that's 2 items that he'll be able to grab right here, plus a hint when he goes through this side. Illus, meanwhile, having that pod key when he finds Palace of Darkness, might be able to check even more items.
And do you know what Illus's sprite is? I'm not...
That is Cyrano. I don't remember what that's from, but that's the name. Alright, so
just $20.
That hint in Palace of Darkness was interesting because it said the Hera basement leads to the Ice Palace Big Key today, which is not necessary in a practical sense, but is an item that you may need at some point, depending on what's in that chest. Like, you can skip it, but you may not be able to if it's something important. So that makes that's a very ambiguous item to have in Hera's basement.
Yeah, because sometimes Ice Palace chests, big chests can be good, and sometimes it can just be garbage.
Well, we from a very nice Mimic Clip there that Jedders just did, we got a sword, Sequence Broken Sword, which is
very nice.
A pretty nice item to sequence.
Because basically they don't have any real weapons right now, other than that sword that he just found.
I don't know if Illus knows how to Mimic Clip, but they do have a key so they can check the 2 items in the center for us.
Yep, and he just found his, Illus just found his small key to Thieves' Town and Pod.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and check these out. We've got a few bombs here that we can pick up as well, which we've been a little bit lacking in the bomb department so far.
Especially with bombs being their primary weapon at this point in time.
So we got a vanilla thief drop. I actually missed what the item was, but he's not going for it, so I guess it wasn't.
Yeah, I missed as well. And other than... Oh, looks like Illus is going to... Well, it looks like he was setting up for a death warp.
I think he wanted to check the hint.
Yes.
And thought about that before he died.
Yep, and and it looked like he had to chase down to in order to get his death warp. The I'm derping the name of the enemy. The anti-fairy. Yeah, it looked like the anti-fairy was trying to run away from him. Maybe the anti-fairy thought he had powder and was going to turn him into a real fairy.
So the forest just getting us a GT small key, and then a connector, which only took us to the Hammer House in Village of Outcasts, which isn't really helpful right now because you can't get out of that as a bunny, so it's not going to do us any good.
Oh, and it looks like it was just a bloopy in the Lost Woods Thieves hideout. Oh.
So we see an ambiguous small key on the Lumberjack ledge today. I have no idea if we're going to need that at any point, but that is not something that you want to see there. You would rather have it be something like a heart piece, and you know you're not going to have to do this. But that's just going to be something that's on their minds for the whole race until they figure out where...
Oh, and Myershed just having a piece of heart and $20.
Alright, so we haven't seen the Kakariko well yet, I think, and we haven't seen the fairy, I want to say. So one of those is over here. They can get to it with the glove. For their sake, they're going to hope that it's Kakariko well. What was where Pink Fred? Alright, Kakariko well, so that means that above Aghanim 2 today we have the useless fairy. So that is good news for the runners. They don't have to do Aghanim 2. They may still have to climb GT, but they will not have to do Aghanim 2 at least.
Oh, and Illus oh no, I'm sorry. Jetter's finding Cackwell and getting Bombos. Oh, the hook shot.
Well, we know where Hookshot Cave is, and we haven't really hookshot, so
an ice rod.
That seems relevant.
A piece of heart and 3 bombs, so a few nice finds.
I think Jedders probably go straight to Hookshot Cave. Looks like.
Yep. Gotta see if 3 more items. Well, actually, no, he didn't have boots. He couldn't check any of the items.
Yep, we still haven't seen the shovel paying out yet. And speaking of boots, Illus checking the Bonk Rocks and finding the Turtle Rock big chest entrance. He actually could get a few items out of Turtle Rock right now if he really wanted to. He doesn't have logic. Well, he will have logical access in a second, actually, with the hook shot. So, or even more reason.
Oh, $20 in Hookshot Cave. More money. And more money. So, Hookshot Cave not really paying out, other than if the shovel potentially leads to something.
Well, looks like Jedders is curious about that right now. It's going to go do it for us. I'm curious to see if Illus takes this hookshot into Turtle Rock immediately, or just goes straight to Hookshot Cave. There are 2 items that he could get in Turtle Rock. They're not. One of them's only one of them would be in logic. The other one is locked by 4 keys, so they wouldn't be expected to get it yet, but it's very easy to get to. And it's also a connector they could be checking as well. They could get to the left side.
Oh, and just a heart container at the dig spot.
Illus demonstrating the easy way to get in here. Gonna check the connector first instead of the items. That's interesting. Could get shut out here, so that's an interesting choice to do that first.
Oh, and going to Dark Death Mountain. Oh.
Huh, not going for the items yet. That's, alright.
So where do you think the Moon Pearl's going to be hiding out today, Recidador?
There's a lot of possibilities left still.
Do you think it's going to be a troll item? That's what.
I don't know. We got a desert small key, and I think we've seen a piece of desert, so that's good. So 2 more items I can get. Personally, I don't know, but I am very interested, given that we have the boots and the hook shot, which are 2 logical ways to get to that chain chomp chest, or the 2 logical pieces to get to that chain chomp chest in Turtle Rock. I'm kind of interested to see what's there. Don't know that it would be Pearl, but I'm kind of suspicious of that chest right now, given that we got the boots and the hook.
And Illus just made his way to Hookshot Cave and just getting his cash. Oh, and also checking out Sick Kid. Getting that small key to Hyrule Castle.
So Jedders, unfortunately, not checking the last drop down. Is putting themselves off the boots for a little bit. And given that they have a sword, they would be able to get more use out of the boots than Illus at this point, considering they could be able to dash freely and not run into any. Alright, we're going to get the 3rd exit of Paradox, which is the Bonk Rocks behind the bomb shop today. So another connector to the Dark World. Illus not going to do anything yet because they do have a lot of Light World left to explore still, so not interested in bunnying around just yet.
Yep, it looks like neither runner is interested in doing any bunny shenanigans at this point in the race.
It is a little early. I occasionally will just check out the entrances that are like just right there and don't take that long to get to. But either option is really fine. Looks like we found out the stun prize is bombs though, which is pretty nice considering. You know, at least in Illus's case, he doesn't have a weapon yet.
Now, his weapon is... Well, he does have weapons, but not really good ones right now.
Yeah, of course, the other problem is he doesn't have a good way to farm that stun prize either, so that's kind of a crapshoot, really.
Oh, and finding a storyteller and see if it has a good hint or a not so good hint. Oh, it's finding out where he can find Eastern Palace.
And for those that don't know, that is the Light World Bumper Ledge. So we're going to need a mirror and a way to Bumper Ledge to get to Eastern Palace. So it's finally going to check out this shovel. Not just going to get a heart container, so not really what he's looking for. See where he wants to go yet.
But still a nice safety item at this point in the game, especially with not having any weapons, and some of those enemies can hit pretty hard.
Yep, I expect that somebody is going to go to the eastern area soon, but Jedders, meanwhile, is going to follow these flippers, which is something else that we haven't seen anybody do. He can access 2 entrances and 3 items this way, so good reason, or a good thing to check out.
Oh,
and
it looks like there was a key on Lake Hylia Island. Is that what you...
Nope, I was actually going to comment on this storyteller that just told us that the Palace of Darkness big key is inside again.
Oh, that's nice. And Hobo having a heart container.
Illus has already done everything south of here, but checking this thing down here, he knows where Desert Palace is. He may go there with that key, but also we haven't seen anything going towards the eastern area, so we may see some of that here. That does not mean Pod is a pendant. That means it's in Ganon's tower, like the interior, not the entrance. Alright, well, we've got Hyrule Castle, and we have a small key, so everything in here that's not in the dark cross chest anyway. Everything else in here is in logic. So that's 3 items they can get a hold of right now.
Oh, and Jedder's finding Swamp Palace. Going to check out that hint. Oh, and Misery Mire leads to Mimic Cave. And
It's Swamp being...
Yep,
Sorry,
Swamp being at Waterfall of Wishing. So, kind of ironic, another water entranceway.
You know, Swamp being flipper locked seems appropriate.
Yep. Oh, big key on Zora Ledge, but it is accessible since he does have that flippers. Oh, and it looks like Illa's taking advantage of having that be in a bottle to kill enemies.
Has discovered the stun prize now.
And so far I don't think he's found anything of note in Hyrule Castle. Oh, and Zora having his usual high dollar, low value item.
So once he gets done in here, he may try to sequence break the Dark Cross chest. It's a little gross without a sword, but
oh, and there's the big key to Ganon's tower on Zora's Ledge.
There's also 2 connectors we could check from here. Alright, Jed.
It's small key to pod in Zelda's cell.
Meanwhile, Jedders is finally going towards their boots. Probably going to wish they had done this a little bit sooner.
Yeah, probably about over 20 minutes ago.
Never feels good to get boots post 20 minutes when they're available.
Nope.
And Illa's going to go ahead and check these connectors since they are right here next to their house anyway. It's not too hard to get to.
Oh, and finding access to the Mire area.
Yep, not a lot they can do there right now, but good to know at least.
Yeah, very good information. Oh, and Jedder's finally getting his boots.
Alright, so Hyrule right, the other side of the castle here, goes to Turtle Rock Ledge, so that's another good thing to know for later. Again, not much they could do right here.
Oh,
if they find the mushroom, though, that would be interesting because that potion shop would be getting that item would be in logic as a bunny.
Oh, and buying a potion for most likely for safety. But it is a nice find to find the potion shop, even though it has relocated to the Dark World and moved north quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a few things you could be expected to do as a bunny in order to get the Moon Pearl. Talking to NPCs is one thing. Picking up a freestanding item is another thing. So if they were to turn in their mushroom, that could potentially be the Moon Pearl if they were to find it sometime in the near future. You can also press through or push blocks, like in Checkerboard Cave. Travel through various connectors and mirror in random spots. So there's a lot of things you could really accomplish as a bunny that people don't normally think about.
Oh, and it looks like it was just a map on top of Lake Hylia Island. And it looks like that Illus is going to do his flipper checks.
Yep, gonna end up with that Ganon's Tower big key soon, and Jedders meanwhile making their way through the castle. We'll see if they go for the Dark Cross chest. They do have a sword, which makes it a little less annoying to do. Between the sword, the boots, and the hook shot, makes it pretty easy to do. There's a couple of setups you can do. You can get into if you time it right, you can just dash all the way through the first few rooms. And if you get yourself up against the wall in the room that the chest is actually in, you can bonk against the torch, and you will be right in front of the chest, and you can just turn up and go right to the chest. So it's very easy to do. So, we are looking at dwindling options here. We still haven't seen anybody go to the eastern area, so that is something to think about. We have 4 entrances over there still need to be explored. We do have the 1 chest in Turtle Rock in Logic, and we do have 2 items in Desert in Logic. Or no, actually 4 because we have the boots. So we got 4 things we can get out of Desert. Seems like a pretty attractive option, and 2 more connectors we could check as well. So Jedders is death warping, so they may be doing this dark cross chest, or they may be checking the connectors here. We'll see. Alright, so he is going for it. We'll see how he approaches this. I just try to dash through here usually. The timing is... I got the timing mostly down, but you can also use your sword to walk through here, or your boots dust to see where you're going, as Jedders. This room is probably the most annoying with all the ropes everywhere. Just kind of hard to get around them. Meanwhile, illus is giving us some new information because we haven't seen the stuff in this side over here. We've got the front of Turtle Rock. Cannot do anything here yet, and the hit sucks, so we're just going to come back to all this. Silver arrows in the Dark Cross, so that doesn't help us out right now, but nice to have those. Also, Jedders doing something else I didn't consider, because without the hammer they can't get into the back of escape, but they can sequence break through here with the without the lamp, and get the other 3 items in the back, or they could just use the lamp that's right there.
Yep. Yep. Graveyard Ledge was at Sarasahala's house. That's a nice find. First fire source.
So Jedders is actually in Logic here and doesn't even know it.
And we'll see what Eastern Palace is today, because we know it's not Eastern Palace.
So Moon Pearl's in the back of escape. That's a pretty nice find.
Oh, that's a nice find. Hopefully illus makes his way there and doesn't put that off too long.
With the lamp and the small key, I wouldn't expect them to put it off for too long.
And
I think the main reason they didn't go for it before was they didn't have a sword or anything that would really help them.
Of the guidance, yeah. And Eastern Palace was just a fairy fountain today.
Alright, so with that Moon Pearl in hand, Jedders is much more interested in connectors now, so we're going to see where the back of Hookshot.
Oh, and Misery Mire at the Light World Flute 5 spot. And it looks like illus with that hookshot is going to check it out.
There are 4 items in Logic here, and 6 that you could actually get with that lamp in hand.
Oh, and then realizing he couldn't kill the Wizrobes with his hookshot.
Well, interestingly enough, however, he can do it with the Ice Rod, so he doesn't know it, but he is in Logic if he were to get those items.
Yeah, I think.
Meanwhile, the back of Hookshot Cave came out of the top of Paradox Cave on Eastern Death Mountain, so we have an entire mountain we can...
Oh, and looks like illus is making his way into Escape in Hyrule Castle.
Yep,
So
knows he can get 4 items out of here, and they are in Logic now, so just go.
Oh, and Jedders finding Ice Rod Cave, which has the single arrow.
So we got a couple more entrances on this side, and then we can take that hook shot and actually check the entirety of Western Death Mountain as well. Jedders can do what will be in his eyes a sequence break and get the old man, but that will also be in Logic. We've got Laser Bridge up here. This is definitely not on Logic at the moment, but they've got boots and also a few hearts here, quite a few hearts, so this is not going to be any trouble.
Swagnet. Oh, and Illus getting his Quake and his Moon Pearl.
Yep, and he's going to have a lot of choices to make here as well. We've got a lot of connectors that neither one has explored, so we'll see which one he goes for. Jetter's having a couple of issues with this last laser skip. This is actually one that you could just iframe through by dropping off the ledge and just walk through. But takes a little damage boost from the laser instead and gets it. And Illus actually going through the same connector, so both the runners are going to be on the mountain for.
Yeah, and it didn't really look. There wasn't really anything of note on Laser Bridge today, except for possibly the Swagnet if he wanted to catch fairies just to have a safety item, because he does have that bottle.
Yep. Let's see. Nothing else floating around. I missed that before. And there's another part of desert, so now we can access these 4 items from a different direction.
Yep, and he can actually go right side desert with that small key in hand. And just 20 rupees so far. And, oh, there's that small key to Tower of Hera.
Well, we have a fire source, and we have a small key to Tower of Hera. At least Illus has a fire source. So I think the best bet would be to get the Ice Palace big key, just in case it is something, if you run across. Illus finds himself on Laser Bridge. They're going to go ahead and do some laser skips as well. They actually have a blue mail that I'm not sure if Jedders picked up, so this will be pretty easy for. Oh, he did get it? Okay, I can't tell on this spray. Jedders is gonna take a really long death warp here, unfortunately. A lot of hearts here. At least the BMOS does one, no matter. I think no matter the. This is where you start to really miss the mirror when you have this many hearts and you don't have a good way of getting out of dungeon.
Yep, and Illus finding a single arrow.
Alright, and Jetter's done with the east side. Is going to go to the west side. Illus is actually also going to the west side. I don't think they actually did all the entrances over there yet, though. And Jetter's actually going to take a health refill from these fortune tellers, which is something you don't see people do very often, but maybe just wants to go ahead and fill up since he's about to get hit in the face with a few rocks. Alright, first couple entrances are pretty garbage.
Small key on top of Spectacle Rock.
And we do have the hook shot, so that into Bumper Cave, it actually is in logic to get through that way. So that's a possibility that we're looking at as far as things to do after we're done checking all these entries. Oh. And the left side of Misery Mar is dead today, so that is nice.
Yeah, very nice, because that can be a little time consuming.
So far though, most of this Western Death Mountain really not interested.
Nope, been a lot of junk. Oh, and finding Spike Cave on Illus's side.
Yep, missing a few things to get in there, so not gonna do that right.
Nope, no hammer.
Not even sure where Jetter's got these extra hearts that Illus doesn't have. They've checked about the same stuff. I'm not sure what Jetter's did that he hasn't. Eastern? No, Illus is the one that did the eastern area. Alright, so they're done with this side of the mountain. Illus is going to go ahead and check the other side of Bumper Cave here, since they can't get to the old man right now. At least from this part of the mountain, because he is in Hera today.
Oh, and leading out of Hype Cave.
That's a pretty good connector. There's a few things they can do over here.
Yep, Since he has that moon pearl, he doesn't have to worry about bunny shenanigans.
And Jedders is right behind him, so their runners are going to be high-fiving a lot in the next few minutes. I could have sworn that Illus didn't actually check everything on Eastern Death Mountain, though, but he must have just...
I don't think he did.
It's possible he forgot about a cave or something, I don't know. Yeah, Jinxie telling us that he didn't... Oh, he didn't actually... He may have seen Desert and not gone into it. Maybe that was the time difference. Alright, so we found the East Death Mountain Ferry connector, which some people don't know is a connector when they first start doing entrance. Comes out the other side of it, just turns out to be graveyard ledge, so not really helpful there. And Jedders has found the old man cave, the where he actually rests at home. Found the back of that and is going to go check and see where the front of old man goes. Alright, well, turns out that the back of Old Man leads for, or the front of Old Man is just Ice Palace, which is super stupid as far as a connector, or as far as a spawn point, I should say. And Jedders about to find the East Death Mountain Ferry here as well. Doesn't go through this one though. Meanwhile, we have the flippers and we have a glove. So we're gonna check out the dark ice rod area here on Illus's side. We did find the chest game. Nothing there though. Looks like Jedders decided to go to the 2 guaranteed items in the entrance over here. Stumpy giving the Cane of Samaria, so paying out immediately.
Oh, that's a nice find.
We do have the dig game over here and another entrance, so it's a couple more things. Meanwhile, it looks like the dark ice rod cave area was kind of junk. Now the left side of Swamp is also dead, thanks to a hint on Jedders' side, so always nice to get those left side hints for these dungeons. Meanwhile, Illus going to check the one entrance up here in the Dark Witch set and do Catfish, which is a very easy thing to orphan. Gonna go ahead and get that out of the...
I think a lot of runners wait until they get the mirror to do Catfish, because then they can do Zora at the same time. But since they already did Zora, that's kind of a moot point.
Yeah, there's just gonna not really be any good way to route this in. It's not gonna be kind of awkward, so yep. Just gonna go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah, and the one
time Jedders is actually running back the other way, so he may end up over there soon.
Yeah, and the time that you skip Catfish is the time when Catfish has something good. Just 3 bombs today.
Yep, and they do have flippers, so everything on this side is in logic. There is a few entrances and a freestanding item over here in the Palace of Darkness side, the Eastern Dark World that they can get at, and Illus is going to go ahead and do that first before they continue exploring the Southern Dark World. Jedders is getting the news that the Eastern Death Mountain Ferry is a garbage connector today. Probably going to do the same thing that Illus just did and continue on to the Eastern Dark World, check the Dark Ice Rod Cave area perhaps.
Oh, it looks like we're going to get a pyramid ledge check.
Yeah, this is another item that's awkward to route in at times. If you don't have mirror.
And it looks like it's a key. Big key 2. Desert Palace. Oh, so now the that big chest is in logic.
As is the boss, because we already have the small key. So, and they do have weapons that are in logic for killing it. And they have a fire source. Well, Jedders still doesn't have the fire source, but a fire source is available.
And I believe actually that you can use the ice rod on Landmolus.
That is correct.
So the
ice rod, the cane of Samaria, the I don't think bombs by themselves are in logic, but they are another possibility.
Okay, and Monkey House today is a connector.
See a Death Mountain Descent connector. I don't know that we've seen the other end of that. I don't remember how many dark rooms we... Alright, Jetter's doing as expected, and checking the Dark Hour start area. Probably going to do Catfish to Pot area as well. And yeah, Ice Rod Landmolus isn't really bad. You just got to time it a little better. The shots fire off a little slower than the Fire Rod, but it's still the same 2 shots per Landmolus. There is not more than one single arrow drop. The single arrow is just another prize that you can possibly get out of the chess game. But it's not the single arrow.
Okay, and today pod is...
Same way you can get a single bomb or a single heart piece out of...
Bonk rocks.
Or a single heart.
And a shield.
Alright, so we're pretty much done with this. Well, we're going back this way. I'm not sure what else that illus didn't check over here yet. Maybe I guess they didn't go to the Flute 5 dark spot yet.
No, he did, and I believe it was just a shop.
Okay, then I'm not entirely sure where we're going right now. I guess he skipped this cave on the way in, which is strange.
I think he might have checked it out, but decided not to go in yet. Oh, and is the old man save point?
Yeah, didn't want to cut himself off. Yeah. And old man being in here, this is going to be the only way they can get to him for now. So it's just going to get that out of the way. And then that'll give them that very helpful spawn point in Ice Palace. Meanwhile, Jedders is taking...
yeah, the Titans from the old man. That's actually nicer than usual $5 or $20 that he gives you as a tip.
Yeah, and that's going to give him easy access to the Western Dark World, which we had yet to find outside of, I think, a connector or two. Jedders got there by using the hook shot.
Oh, and ironically, it comes out of Ice Palace.
Yeah, we saw that earlier.
Okay.
They went through... and he's going to take the other side to check Stumpy and the dig game and all that. Probably pick up the Smith on the way too, since he does have the mitts now. And we find Hype Cave here in the fenced-in the Curiosity Shop down south.
And he did find the big key. Oh, there's Fire Red, and he also found the big key to Thieves' Town. Oh, so that is...
It's a mild hype at least.
Yeah. But that is Jedders' first fire source, since he hasn't found the lamp yet.
Yeah, see, illus has found the mitts and the lamp. Jedders has got the fire rod and a sword that illus has not managed to get yet. So both runners having a couple things over the others.
Oh, but getting his cane, illus getting his cane of Samaria from Stumpy. So when he does find GT, that will make a lot more checks in logic.
Yeah, illus doesn't have the fire rod yet, but they'll probably get there eventually going north. Gonna get this swamp hint that's very nice.
Oh, yeah. Just garbage.
There was already one chest in Turtle Rock and Logic. I think we saw the front of Turtle Rock, so yeah, there's 3 more in Logic that way. And then there's one they could get at from the back, from the laser bridge. Like, laser bridge itself isn't in Logic, but they can get the one chest going backwards in Crystal Roller Room, even though they don't have the big. So the cane actually does open up a interesting amount of things. We found the back of Skull Woods here up, I think, in the Bumper Cave entrance.
And it looks like Illus is going to go for the, at least rescuing the Smith. Oh.
Yep. Hexcjedders is going to go ahead and go for the Mothula fight here. Does have a sword. It's not a logical sword, but he's going to have to be really careful with his magic because he has not found the lamp yet.
Oh, and Mushroom in GT. Yeah, it looks like Illus is going to take the frog on a world tour through Village of Outcast.
I think Hexcjedders is actually going to have to waste his potion in order to light these torches, which is, well, nope, he's going to go ahead and farm for some magic out here instead, which I think is the better choice. Save the potion for the fight itself, which could get a little gross.
Yep, and Illus finding Spectacle Rock. And small key to Misery Mire. Oh, and kind of a garbage hint to Blue Cane and GT.
Well, we're certainly getting a lot of hints about what GT has for us if we could ever find it.
Yes.
He's probably killing this Gibdo so that he can have a key for Skullwoods later outing, the main part of Skullwoods, without having to go out of his way to get a key, I would assume. Looks like we found the final exited desert that I don't think we had seen yet, over here above, what do you call it, Village of Outcast.
Yeah, it looks like Illus is going to dip into Skullwoods, or at least grab a key. Oh, nope, looks like he's going to try and find a few items.
Well, it looks like the stupid setup, so he may only do this one item and leave if he can't.
Although he does,
not assured of
yeah, he does have
not getting locked.
He does have some Aria, so that actually makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, he could also just choose to get locked out here because he does have Mitt, so it's very easy to get back to where.
And found Ether.
We've got Mothula down on Hexcjedders' side. Very nice fight. I don't know that he even had to use his potion. I didn't see if he did. Got a crystal out of it, so first crystal. Yeah, for Breeze confirming he did not. I didn't think he had.
Oh.
Alright, I believe we're in the lockout version of Skullwoods, but again, not going to be very hard for Illus to get back to where he is with those mitts. I forget where the Smith was, though. Actually, the Smith is just in Kakariko, so even more reason to just save and quit and come back and use the mitts to come back to where he was at before.
Yeah, not really finding anything of note in Skullwoods.
So Hexcjedders is actually in a more interesting position because they don't have mitts, so they do not have a necessarily easy way to get back here. So they may choose to not check the rest of this right now. Oh wait, never mind. It's not Lockout Woods. I'm just blind. So no, he's gonna go. Definitely blinked at the wrong time there. Illus doesn't have a fire rod, so they probably won't. They may not be tempted to do Skull Woods when they go in here, although it is an easy bomb jump with the lamp. So see what they want to do. The main problem being that if they obtain this crystal, they will erase the smith. It's not too. Oh yeah, he doesn't have a sword yet either, so he's not really be tempted after all.
Just checking that item. Yeah, just checking that item while he's there.
The sword, the only sword we found so far being bow locked, and Jedders having limit clipped that. So we still have yet to see another. But Illus actually will have the fire rod pretty soon if they continue on this path. Hype Cave is right around the corner. And then as far as options, it feels like we are starting to run a little bit low on entrances. We've checked quite a few of them. We've got a few connectors we haven't been through yet. Turtle Rock is looking kind of interesting with that cane. We have a lot of stuff we can get to right now. Of course, the other thing of note is you could get into Ice Palace and do a few things there. Not that anybody's going to want to until they get a hammer. Interestingly enough, I think Illus has the big key and the small key and can get every item in the front of Desert, and I don't know that they've actually gone in to do that. Jedders has not actually picked up the big key to Desert, which was where was that?
I wonder.
Oh yeah, Pyramid. He didn't go to the Pyramid. He just hookshot it over to the Western Dark World. Matter of fact, he didn't check out anything of the Western Dark World, or Eastern Dark World. That is, sorry. And so Ill's going to go ahead and drop the Smith off. We'll see if these mitts have any immediate pay. So the mitts actually open up a little bit more on Death Mountain too that we have yet to see.
Oh, just a compass to Skullwoods.
Or wait, actually I think I'm lying because I think somebody popped out of one of those entrances as a bunny, so we did see. Alright, so the mushroom is actually above going up the Ganon's Tower climb today, so that's a very ambiguous item to get a hint about. Meanwhile, Illus is going to go ahead and go for the Land Mollusk. Actually has the Fire Rod, so it's a pretty decent weapon. Between the Fire Rod, the Ice Rod, Cane of Samaria, and some bombs.
And he also picked up a blue potion as well.
Yeah, probably best bet would be to light the torches with the lamp and then save the Fire Rod shots. Jedders was going to try the Spectacle Rock bomb jump and cheat his way to the one side of Spectacle Rock, sequence break it, and unfortunately took a fall before he made it. I don't know if we've seen this end of it yet either. Oh, never mind, just kidding. Maybe we have. Interestingly enough, I don't think that Illus has actually checked any of the interior of Desert before getting to these Land Mollusk. Nicely done though. Gets him down, doesn't miss a shot, gets a map for Hera and a crystal, which we already knew about it.
Yeah, I don't think he won't miss out much if he doesn't go through desert, because I believe it was really nothing of note.
The one thing we haven't seen is the big chest, and he does have that key. So he has actually 5 items he can get out of there right now. Looks like he's going to go back to Death Mountain, though. I'm not sure what he's chasing at the moment. May actually be chasing one of the desert entrances. One of them is up here. Wanted to check Spiral Cave on his way down to check. Oh, no, he's still just noping out a desert there.
Yep, going back in.
I think he finally realizes, hey, I have like literally all the keys and everything in here. I could just go get all these items. And we've seen everything but the big chest in here, so we're still looking for our next big progression.
Okay.
And again, I gotta say, Turtle Rock looking the most interesting with that cane.
And I forgot that there was the small key to Tower of Hera in Desert Palace, so we'll see if that leads to something or not.
We know that it leads to the Ice Palace big key. The only question is how much do we care about. Oh, looks like Jedders is also feeling the Turtle Rock calling, so he's going to go check these first 3 items. He doesn't know where the big chest is yet because he hasn't checked the Bonk Rocks. We'll see. I don't know. Depends on what he gets here on whether he wants to go even further, but it's not always a great idea to waste your key going forward if you've only got one.
Oh, Desert Palace big chest is just the compass to Misery Mire.
And first chest in Turtle Rock, not really worth it.
Nope, just 10 arrows.
There are 2 more currently in logic things to get out of Turtle Rock from various entrances. So, or besides these 2 that he's going for right now. And 1 more they could get outside of logic. Alright, so front of Turtle Rock, not the answer. We do still have the Chain Chomp chest and the Crystal Roller Room chest to consider. Which, Illus actually heading towards one of those right now in the form of the Crystal Roller chest. Could also just go backwards, even though he knows where the big chest is, and get to the 2 middle chests that way as well. I guess Jedders had still not checked out any of Eastern yet, so I think he ended up in Turtle Rock kind of by accident, not as a thing that he was actually considering to.
Oh, and Jedders finally getting his lamp.
Alright, Crystal Roller Room, not the thing. We still have 1 more chest in logic here. As far as what else we have, the Ice Palace entrance is in logic with the mitts. And purple chest as well. Ooh, taking a death on Illus's side, so that's may put him off from going after that 1 chest. I don't know. Yeah, gonna just not do it right now.
Yeah, hopefully Illus will find a sword soon, because it's an hour in and he still doesn't have even a fighter sword.
Yeah, we still haven't found the first logical sword yet, or either that or we haven't found the bow that gets us our first logical sword. Just depends. So, I don't believe Illus knows anything about mimic clipping, or doesn't want to mimic clip at least, so not going to do that. Nope, but we are going to get the Misery Mire play finally. There are 4 items in here in logic, and 6 that we can get overall.
Well, actually, Illus does have a bottle with a potion in it, so he could do the potion glitch.
That is true. That is one way of going about that.
Which is...
Don't think he would go to pod specifically to do that.
Oh,
though.
no. Not unless he starts running out of options.
Yeah, I don't think we'd actually seen these West Ark World caves either, so this is a thing.
Ooh, oh, we found
there's
Tower of
Hera.
Hera, and he does have that small key.
Alright, so I would say, yeah, wait for the, wait in the basement for the big key to Ice Palace, definitely. That's 3 items they can get out of here. That actually puts 1 more chest in Ice Palace in logic, obviously, even though you still don't want to go in there without a hammer if you can help. And that was a super useless hint on our side, or on Illus's side.
And he's going to check the basement.
Yeah, he knows what's in here, and while the Ice Palace big key is not really something you care about, if you know where it is and you have yet to go into Ice Palace, you definitely want to just grab it.
Yeah, because it would be a trek to try and find it.
Looks like Jedders did not check the left side yet. Gonna go for the in logic checks first, and then I guess go left after.
Oh, remember there was. I wonder if he got that hint. Remember
Oh,
about
yeah,
the Firelock side is garbage. Yeah.
Yep. Never mind. Ignore me. Yep. He got the hint that it is crap. So we don't need to do that. The only thing that would have gotten him is a map of Mire, which we don't know what that is, but that's not worth waiting on that side. And hey, surprise, surprise! It's the big key to Ice Palace. So we have 1 chest that's a question mark in Turtle Rock. Turns out Mire was nothing. So Ice Palace is unfortunately looking a little bit stronger of a play. Still something you really don't want to do without a hammer, but sometimes you just got to take the plunge. I would think that a mirror should show up here soon. Don't know where it might show up. We do still have that Ice Palace entrance. That could be something. Oh no, never mind. The Ice Palace entrance is the old man spawn point, so ignore me. That is not worthwhile. So purple chest, a good chunk of Ice Palace itself, and the Chain Chomp room. Oh, and nobody ever did check this Mire area either, so there's 2 more entrances over here. Oh, 3 actually, because we have the medallion. And strike 1 on that. Oh, Lin makes a good point. We still haven't seen anybody actually go through Super Bunny, so that is 2 more items and a connector to somewhere. So that's 1 more possibility. Meanwhile, Jedders going, you have a sword. Where are you going? You could open up Mire. Did we get a hint about what Mire is? And
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Mimic Cave.
Oh, never mind. Jedders, ignore me then, as you are currently. Alright, so we found Jedders finds their way to Turtle Rock Ledge. Can't do anything there, really. Meanwhile, Illus has finally decided to take the plunge into Mire. Not going to get anything out of it. So we're just waiting on one of these guys to end up in the right spot for our next progression. I'm really starting to feel Ice Palace personally. I don't know about anybody else. Super Bunny would be something interesting to see everybody go through. Jedders is... Don't know what Jedders is going for here. Oh, he's going to check the other Paradox Cave entrance.
I don't think there wasn't really anything of note in Misery Mire, was there?
There was not, and we do know where Ice Palace is. We have access to it. Ice Palace is... Hold on, I gotta pull up. Ice Palace is at the Witch's Hut. It was actually the first entrance we saw today. I think a mirror in Ice Palace seems somewhat likely. Or maybe a mirror's just sitting in Super Bunny, which I think Jedders is actually going for now. At any rate, I feel like mirror could be our next big thing. A hammer would be nice, but a hammer would not open up a lot overall, so I don't know that I expect that to be the next big thing. Alright, well, there's a couple of keys to Turtle Rock, making Super Bunny Cave not very...
Nope.
This is interesting, though. This is a couple of entrances we haven't seen yet. We did see the bottom ones, I think, from somebody. Top ones are sure not worthwhile. Jedders looks like they're trying to decide what they want to do next. And Illus might actually be making the Ice Palace play now. Oh, there's the left side of Turtle Rock. Yeah, that's where we saw it from Illus doing the boots clip over there without going through the...
And it looks like Illus is going to check out King's Tomb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and there's GT. Okay.
That was the other thing we had access to that I forgot about. King's Tomb. So, well, this looks important.
Yeah.
We know the Palace of Darkness big key is in here, even though technically we're not anywhere near the logic to be able to use that. The mushrooms upstairs, which we can't get to, and then I think we found the hint that something else was in here. Oh, hello, Bo. So we're actually only one small Turtle Rock key away from that bow being in logic. So, that's probably something they're supposed to be getting right about now, that Jedders just got. And got before he found access to GT, so that might allow him to do a couple more interesting things when he gets in here. I gotta go for this chain chomp chest that's been in logic for quite some time. It's a small key to swamp. I don't think we found the dam yet, though, have we?
No, found swamp, but I don't believe they found the dam. And the tile room just had 3 bombs.
Alright, Illus not even bothering with the magic refill, just gonna use all their magic up here. Oh, and use their potion instead. Alright. So they came in here with 2 keys, it looks like. So everything in the next room is in logic, and they can continue on to the Ice Armos area. None of that will be in logic. It's also going to be a terrible fight with the current equipment. The Cane of Samaria being their best thing that they have, I think. As far as defeating the Armos.
Oh, he does have the Bloomerang.
Yeah,
which just makes it horrible.
Yeah, the Cane is like 12 hits per Armos, and the Boomerang's like 48. So, of the 2, the Boomerang would get my vote. Could also use the bombs, which I believe do hammer level damage, and you can tend to, hit a few of them at once with the bomb splash. The bow is in Turtle Rock in the center chest. Illus chose not to go into Turtle Rock earlier when they found the access to it, and so they do not have that. Jedders had already cleared the Palace of Darkness both side, but they do have an extra key now, so they're going to get these last 3 chests in the back here that they can access.
Oh, and GT big...
Probably hammer jump and get the other 3 chests as well, or 2 chests since they don't have the big key.
And GT big chest was just a piece of heart.
Alright, so nothing...
oh, there's the hammer in Bob's chest! Oh my god.
Well, I was going to say nothing that Illus is currently doing is technically in logic without a 3rd small key, but who cares?
Nope, he can use that hammer now, although the hammer with the... Oh, nope. Choosing to use Samari instead.
The hammer does a little more damage, but it's also less safe.
Yeah, the hitbox is terrible.
He has a lot of hearts, so not necessarily a bad idea to use it for at least a little while. We found the big key of Misery Mire, by the way, in the back of Palace of Darkness. And a vanilla key.
And Illus does have half magic, which will make his usage of Samari a little longer.
Oh, correcting me, it is the same amount of hits for the hammer and the cane. I never keep track of that, because I try not to do this fight if I can help it with either of those.
No, it's pretty horrible. Okay. Are you having flashbacks, Wally?
So, Ice Palace suddenly looks very interesting, though, with that hammer.
Yes, yeah, in a match, Wall Kicks had to do a very horrible Ice Armos fight.
Alright, well, Illus is doing a great job of killing these Armos with his cane, and this guy's just gonna, like, mash his face into this.
And
very helpful, and now we can get these last 3 items that are here.
And see if they're any good. Blue P.
So...
Nope.
So, if I were a betting guy, and, you know, not that I'm right that, you know, all the time, I would be kind of betting on that last GT key that we need for that hammer to be an Ice Palace.
And just a Blue P on the torch.
Alright, we're gonna go left in GT first, since we'll play with the hammer. It doesn't have the bow, so we won't be able to choose to go up for the last 4 items. We do know we don't have to kill Aghanim 2 today, so that would make that probably a little more tempting than normal.
Oh, small key to Castle Tower. Ooh, there's the Burna, which he could have used in the fight.
Oh yeah, that was the other hint we got. Was
Oh, another bottle.
Alright, Jedders is going to the Palace of Darkness side. Probably going to end up with his mitts pretty soon, because he's going to find the old man over here. Or he's just going to run right by him and go to the pyramid first, which, yeah, probably a good idea. He's going to get his desert big key. Speaking of big keys, we got the big key of Palace of Darkness that we got that hint about. We haven't quite determined what our other pendants and crystals are yet, so we don't necessarily know that we need that today, but we've got it.
Yep, it's always pretty bad when you either have an item you need to find, or it can also be a key that you need in order to defeat a crystal dungeon.
Alright, so we're approaching the last 4 items that Illus can get out of here. Then we'll see if they just go straight to Ice Palace with that hammer. They do have the ability to get every item out of there now. It is the green pendant, but they've had access to a lot of Ice Palace for a while now, so it could be tempting for them. And,
there's the mirror in Rando Room, so that was very good of him to go as far as he could in GT.
Oh, never mind. Suddenly, Ice Palace looks a little less attractive, given that we have the mirror and we can do a lot of stuff.
A lot more checks in logic.
I think we came out of Graveyard Ledge at one point, but I don't think we've seen any of the other normally mirror-locked entrances as a connector yet.
Alright, just noticed it's almost an hour 20 in, and Illus has still not found even a single sword.
Jedders needs to get the Old Man Rescue, which is the cave going into the pod area, the one that normally has a ferry. That's the only way to get to it at the moment, because it has because the Old Man's inherent. And let's see here. Illus is going to check the top of the pyramid, it looks like, with the mirror right away. Illus does not have that sword that Jedders has, which is on the bow side of Pod. He just got, and he doesn't have the bow, and he doesn't know how to mimic flip. I don't. And Jedders is checking this area kind of in reverse, it looks like. So, oop, they're gonna go through this cave first. I don't remember if we saw the other side of this yet. Hopefully this doesn't cut them off in any way, which they can get back into most stuff, but well, it does cut them off, but oh, Jedders, no, you don't want to do that. Nope. Oh, he did it. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. Might put him off the mitts for a little bit longer. Oh, meanwhile, Illus finds the top of Bumper Cave.
And a small key to Pod. Oh, and there's Eastern.
But doesn't have a bow or a big key to this. But there are 4 keys, or 4 items that he can get here. Jedders, it looks like, is maybe a little bit puzzled about where they want to go next. Unfortunately, they chose to not go back to that connector and do the old man. They may have actually walked right by the old man cave and not gone into it. They are pretty low on options overall.
Yep, here. First chest in Eastern Palace, just having a single rupee.
Alright, let's see where Jedders is planning on going here.
Oh, there's the cape.
Hope he's gonna go clear desert with that big key that he got. It's something he can do while he thinks about where he might want to go. I don't believe the land mole has had anything too interesting on them, but there is a crystal. He can get his first crystal of the map. Or, sorry, second actually, because he killed Mothula. Did whichever one of you is tracking Jedders, did you see if he actually went into the old man cave, or did he like walk by? So I think those, if he doesn't get those mitts, he's gonna be a little stuck. I know he initially went to the pyramid, and then it looked like he was kind of doing the pod area in reverse. So he may not have even gone in there to begin with. Alright, so far Eastern has been kind of a bust. Well, we don't know if it's a crystal, so we don't know if we're gonna have to come back here. I guess we got a map check on somebody's side, and Pod in here, or Crystal? Oh, Eastern here, sorry. Don't know which one of them did the map check, though, I didn't see it.
Nope, neither did I.
We found Aghanim's Tower. Okay, so Jedders did a map check and found out Eastern and Hera are crystals. All right, so Jedders is going back up the mountain, which isn't really going to help him too much because he needs to get back over to the pod area. Not 100% sure what he could be going for up here. Oh, this spiral cave he hasn't checked yet.
Yep, and Aga Tower just had a heart container and a map.
Yep, Illus has a few more mirror locations they could be checking. So, Jedders, I think, can take this desert to the side of the world that he needs, or to the Dark World. I think the Western Dark World, and then he can run back over to the Eastern Dark World, swim back over there. So hopefully that's what he's doing. Oh, he had never checked the big chest either. So that's one more item for him. It's not the item he's going to need, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, it's not even a good item.
Illus is going back to the castle, I think, to use it as a connector, or he's just going to accidentally mirror. Well, Jedders is taking a death warp, so they are not going to take this to the Dark World, so I'm not entirely sure where they're going to go from here. Ah, he's going to take the mirror to the mire area here on Illus's side, so this is a few more entrances.
Checkerboard just leading to a shop today.
Alright, so Jedders is in the right neighborhood, but unfortunately unable to reach the thing he needs, which is the old man, to get the mitts. He may not have checked these caves in the Dark World yet, in the Western Death Mountain. Might be what he's doing. Alright, so Illus getting the information about Hera and Eastern as well, with the map check there. Knows that they are crystals. And it looks like our tracker is determining that Jedders did not, in fact, go into the cave at all that had the old man. So while they are getting their, they finally found Hera here, they are going to get the Ice Palace Big Key. They may end up in Ice Palace pre-hammer, which is not going to be good for them. We know Ice Palace will not lead to their next set of progression. It might get them something, but it won't be the thing they need. Meanwhile, Illus has the hammer. We're going to get this Mimic Cave check as soon as we check this entrance here in the Light World.
No, just the archery game. Oh, no, no.
Or Illus is going to make a liar of me and forget that Mimic Cave is there and not... So hopefully for their sake, it's not going to be anything important since they seem to have written off doing that. Oh, never mind. GFA reminding me that Illus still has not gotten a sword.
No sword.
Which I keep forgetting because it's like so late in.
Yeah, almost an hour and a half, yes.
That is a good point, but Illus is about to get a sword a little too late on his side.
Yeah, he's probably going to be doing some sword slashes right after he gets his sword.
I'm going to do the back first, so he's going to put himself off the sword for a little bit. He won't need... Oh, he still doesn't have the bow, that's right. Crap, so... If he doesn't potion glitch, he still won't have the sword, and he didn't go that way, so... Maybe he won't.
And I think he might have used the potion that he did have.
No, the bow's in Turtle Rock. And Illus has done both ends of Turtle Rock, but has been reluctant to go in the middle so far, which is where the bow... Does get that big key to Misery Mire, which is... does actually put a Misery Mire clear technically on the table. He's got the hammer, so... It's not the way you really want to kill Vitreous, but it is possible. Oh, and the big key of Eastern, which we did not see on Jedders' side, I don't think, because he didn't have the keys to open that. Jedders, meanwhile, doesn't realize that he doesn't have the big key to Hera, so tries to go upstairs, gets a little disappointed. Illus may go back to Eastern and clear it pretty quick here, because he knows that's a crystal. Oh, except for he doesn't have the boat. Damn it. Keep forgetting that.
Yep, he's...
Alright, so Jedders is trying to go to the Dark World the way that he can't currently go since he doesn't have a hammer. I think he's gonna do what I said and end up in Ice Palace without the hammer, unfortunately.
Oh, and Illus is leaving before he can get his sword.
Yep, not gonna potion. No, he did use his potion actually.
Yeah,
the one that he had. I don't know if he got another one yet or not.
No, I believe he might have used just all the potions that he got. And he did get a bottle, but it looked like it was empty.
Alright, so we're finally going to get to see some of Ice Palace. Not the whole thing, unfortunately, because Jedders cannot currently... Chat telling us Illus probably does have a blue potion, he just chose not to use it. Gonna do the purple chest. We haven't seen that yet. Also, hammer pegs I don't think we've seen yet.
And he's not...
Doesn't it...
He's not boot stashing.
Doesn't have a sword, so...
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, and another...
Oh, Pod is our blue pendant, so that'll be... and I saw some crystals, but I didn't see the other pendant yet. Skullwoods, I want to say, was a crystal. Did anybody catch the rest of them? Yeah, I didn't quite. I think we got enough of a map check to know what our last pendant is, but I didn't quite catch all the crystals that were showing up there. I guess we got the hair big key out of Ice Palace, so that's going to be a further distraction for Jedders right now. Did anybody happen to catch the rest of that map check? Because I think we did see enough of our crystals to know. Oh, I'm just going to go with, actually, Illus has their own tracker up and has Thieves Town marked as the last pendant. So, looks like, well, yeah, it looks like Thieves Town was our last pendant and the rest are crystals. According to what they saw on their map. We saw a mini Moldorm cave there, and honestly, I was trying to figure out what crystals and pendants were. So, oh, well, now Illus has changed the Thieves Town to a crystal. So, color me, I guess, I guess they're confused.
And Illus did find a mini Moldorm cave, and the only thing of note in it was a small key to pod.
Alright, so Illus still has Swamp and Mire down as question mark, so maybe we didn't have enough crystals on our map to tell you.
And Race Game just having a small key to Ice Palace.
Alright, so I didn't catch if we've seen anything that was interesting besides a hair big key out of Ice Palace.
I believe Jedders just did find, I believe it was red mail in the big chest.
Yeah, that's not going to really propel him along very far.
No, but it is a nice safety item. Although he does have quite a few hearts, but not having a lot of good weaponry. Oh, and Illus found the dam and his first sword after 1 hour 32. And he must be feeling a little salty.
Illus did it. He finally found the logical sword. Actually, I don't think the mirror's technically been in logic yet because we're still missing a GT small key somewhere. But I don't know. We're still also missing a Turtle Rock small key technically for the bow to be in logic. So I guess if you want to get technical, both of our swords are still sequence broken. Alright, this may be the purple chest check. On Illus's side, Jedders is probably going to go for Hera, which is going to distract them from what they really technically need to be doing. Purple chest may have one of those GT small keys that we're missing to put the mirror in logic, though. could also theoretically have a Turtle Rock key to put the bow in logic, and something could be upstairs that we're supposed to. Alright, so here's the Hera play from Jedders, and then I'm not entirely sure if they have anything left after this at all. Oh, there's a key on Spectacle Rock that I don't know that Illus picked up either. That could be one of those keys. Yep, there's the GT key to put the mirror in logic. In the purple chest. Alright, so yeah, Wall Kicks checked the VOD for us. Confirm that we still don't know what Swamp and Mire are. Those are question marks, so we should be good on the tracking on Illis' side. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Wall Kicks.
So we did just find the dam, so we can do all of Swamp Palace. We could theoretically go ahead and finish Mire too if we really wanted to do one or the other and figure out what our pendant situation is. Meanwhile, we found the flute in Hera. We don't actually need that for anything unless we need to do the big bomb, but we found it at least.
And Illis deciding to pick up that big 20 on the top of Floating Island.
Alright, Jedders is going to take on Mothula, or not Mothula, Moldorm, the other M guy. With the fire sword, which is a little bit of a crappy fight. Gotta hit him 5 times, I want to say.
And Turtle Rock also is Bombos.
Alright, and now that Illus finally has a sword, we can go ahead and get in here. And we found our final GT small key on Moldorm, so I think technically speaking you could have gotten either one of those to get your mirror and logic. Although obviously the purple chest is the less gross of those paths. Or to get the mirror, the hammer and logic, I mean. The mirror, I think, was actually locked behind all 4 keys, so I think technically you were supposed to do Ice Palace and then Hera to get the mirror, whereas we're supposed to do the purple chest to get the hammer.
And Turtle Rock just leading to a shop.
Alright, so what's Jedders gonna do? They really don't have a lot of things on the table right now. Gonna activate the flute, but the flute is not gonna get them anything. Illus, meanwhile, is gonna pick up this small key that I don't think we've seen yet over here. And that is a Mire key, which doesn't do us any good. Oh, we're getting the Spike Cave check. This is in logic with the cape and half magic, which
and he also does have the Cane of Burna.
So found the cane in here. Alright, so Jedders is... Where's Jedders going? Spiral Cave... Where did Spiral Cave come out?
Don't remember. And Spike Cave just had 10 arrows.
Spiral Cave came out of Mimic Cave, so he may not have actually done this to begin with. Yep, this is something he just never did. So it's not what he's looking for. Alright, Illus going to the Dark World here. Not sure what they're chasing down at the moment. They checked the mirror stuff over here already, I think, so... We're gonna go back into Mire with the cane and the big key. We can actually defeat this, although Fighter Sword Vitreous is... Well, no, he has silvers in the bow, so never mind. Vitreous actually being pretty easy to kill in this case. We should get our final information as the pendants and crystals once he's done with this. Illus is gonna kill Mothula. Oh, a big key to Turtle Rock, so that is another thing that where they end up finding their hammer and their mirror and their mitts. Not necessarily in that order. I think that wall kicks might have a point. Let me look here. We don't know where Thieves Town is, but we have access to everything, so it doesn't matter. So I think wall kicks could actually be correct, and that Turtle Rock big key that we just found in Misery Mire is no mode for us.
And Illus getting his second crystal.
I mean, we don't know where Thieves Town is, but we have access to every entrance in the game, so it shouldn't matter. So Illus is gonna have to go into Ice Palace, Pendant Ice Palace for the Hera big key, and into Misery Mire for the Turtle Rock big key, and they're gonna have to go into Turtle Rock for the bow, and then they're gonna have to get the sword on the right side of Pod, and then they will be in go mode. Hexcjedders' path is a little bit more strenuous, I think. Actually, no, Hexcjedders, if they remember the old man, might be in okay shape, I guess. I don't know. They've got to get the mitts and then get the hammer and the mirror. And then they would have to find Thieves Town and the dam. And then they would be... Well, the Eastern Palace big key, too.
Oh, that's evil. The Mire is a pendant, so it looks like there's going to have to be some pendant dungeon dips in order to get items required for crystal dungeons.
Yep, Illus finally going to get the second sword. They go all the way to Vitreous here, but they don't have the bow yet, so this is going to be a really neat pendant that's Hexcjedders just got. I don't think they've done a map check, so they don't know all their information, but that gives us all the information that Swamp is our final crystal, not that either runner knows that individually. Alright, Hexcjedders still running low on options. They got a couple more things they're going to check out here in Turtle Rock. They need to go check to save the old man, but I don't think they ever entered that cave. So they may be getting confused here. Meanwhile, Illus is heading towards a fight that is not very easy with Fighter Sword.
He does have the cape, so he might use that.
Oh, and Hexcjedders gonna go ahead and kill Trinex. He was just taking away through the right side here with the big key. Has enough keys to just go through here and not worry about going through here and then going to Laser Bridge. We don't already know what the big bomb is, I don't think. I don't remember seeing a hint for it.
No, I don't believe we did.
It remains one of our few remaining possibilities for the Thieves Town logo. Alright, so Illus has 14 bombs, so they can soften up Vitreous. They have the hammer as well. So this is doable, but it's gross. Thieves Town is a crystal, so yes, it will be required. So Jedders, I didn't actually think about the fact that Jedders is doing this without the hammer, so this is not a very nice fight either on his side. So neither runner doing a good fight or a fun fight here. I can see Ice Head down though. I think he just spammed it with the rod, so got it down pretty quick. Did a nice job there. Oh, he's got both heads down actually now, so he's good to go. Meanwhile, Illus has made quite a bit of progress on killing these eyes here. Doing pretty good on his side as well. Once he gets the little eyes down, he can just play ping pong with the big eye with the hammer. It's pretty easy to do as long as you just keep ahead of him.
Or as I like to call it, whack-a-viddy.
And Trinix is down on Jetter's side. That is a very good fight. Master Sword Trinix there. And Illus is almost done with Vitreous. Good fights on both sides. Neither one of those fights are free with the setups that they had. Both did a very good.
Oh, and Illus finally got his Master Sword off of Viddy.
Yep, and he should know all the pendant information since he has done the map check there with Palace of Darkness. So wonder where Illus is gonna go next. He's found the dam actually. Hasn't found the Swamp Small Key. Where was the Swamp Small Key that he hasn't found? Or did he find it and we? Oh, is the Swamp Small in Turtle Rock? The Turtle Rock what chest? Oh, Chain Shop chest. Okay, well he's finally going into Turtle Rock, so he's gonna get his bow and then the Swamp Small Key then. So that'll give him a few things to do once he gets those two items. Jedders, meanwhile, is gonna go the wrong direction. I don't know where he's going right now. He needs to go to that one entrance outside of the pod area to get the mitts by rescuing the old man. Jedders could do the big bomb, but well, no, he can't actually because he doesn't have a way to get the big bomb to the pyramid.
Oh, and Illus finally getting his bow.
Yep, that'll give him a Eastern Palace clear, and the Swamp Small will give him the Swamp Palace clear. Neither which of those items, or neither dungeon will have what he's looking for outside of those two items. Like you could just go mode Swamp in this case, but he will not know that, so he probably won't.
Oh, there's that small key to Swamp.
I expect him to go after Swamp and Eastern once he gets done here. Well, I guess he already has the Turtle Rock Big Key as well, so gonna go through and kill Trinix. He'll have a slightly easier time with Hammer, and then probably go to Eastern and then Swamp, and then eventually end up in the Ice Palace for his Hera Big Key, which is, I think, the last thing that he needs.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, no, he needs the Thieves' Town
Big
Key, which is... I don't remember where that is. Oh, it's in Hype Cave, which means he definitely has it. So, he'll need to find Thieves' Town as well, but we have access to every entrance, so, it should be a matter of time before he finds that. Thieves' Town being another dungeon he could go mode, but again, I think the last key that he needs being in Pendant Ice might end up having him full clear all these dungeons that he doesn't necessarily need. Jedders is meanwhile Still not quite going the right direction. I hope this is not double checking things. Looks like he's just checking that one entrance. Once you get into double checking mode, that's a bad feeling. Alright, so Illus in the final phase of Trinex had a slightly easier fight with the hammer, and this should take just a few more hits, and Trinex is dead.
It looks like Jedders is a little confused because I believe he went into that house and got that same exact hint not too long ago.
Yeah, he skipped a random cave that has the one thing that he needs, so, yeah, I think that, he is confused, and I think GFB is also correct that he might not know that the Foothills Cave is Light World Bumper Ledge. So he may think that he should be able to find Eastern Palace and thinks that the answer is there, and it is unfortunately not the case. And given the number of entrances in the game, skipping one entrance and not realizing it can be very hard to figure out where you went wrong in that case.
Yeah, this is a mode that is not very forgiving if you last location either.
He skipped the...
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
If you forget a location or can't find an item because it's in a location you haven't checked.
He skipped the entrance outside of the Palace of Darkness area, which is the old man rescue, the front of it, which you can only get to via that cave because it's in Hera, and getting the mitts there locks them. Meanwhile, Illus is going to full clear Swamp for no reason, because we know what he needs is actually in Pendant Ice Palace, but he doesn't know that. So he'll probably be full clearing a few dungeons here as time goes by in the next few minutes. Alright, so Jedders is in Spectacle Rock Cave. I don't remember where this went. Well, actually, but one side of this went... Both sides of this are in the village, and I don't remember where this last side is. Or I'm not sure if we've seen it.
Okay.
Well, that does not go where he needs it to, but I guess that's why we haven't seen that entrance. So Jedders is in a bit of a pickle here because he skipped one entrance out of many entrances and he has no idea which one it could be. Doesn't know what he might be missing, so he might end up in double check mode here soon. Meanwhile, Illus only needs to hear a big key out of... Well, he needs right now. His current does not know that, so probably be a little bit before Pendant Ice Palace looks appealing to him. Jedders is putting on his thinking cap, trying to figure out where he wants to.
Yep, and Illus not really finding anything of note in Swamp Palace.
Yep, the only thing he needs is to hear a big key out of ice, so he shouldn't find anything too noteworthy in here.
Powder.
Theoretically, he could find the fourth sword, which we have yet to see.
And I believe that was the final pod key.
Yep,
Small key.
Doesn't have to go any further into pod, at least, but...
Oh, and there's the book
knows, maybe...
that could take him on a fetch quest.
The question is, does he end up in full clearing the rest of Pendant Pod before he goes to Ice, or does he go to Ice first? He's been into Pod a couple of times, so Ice might still look more appealing in that situation. Alright, Jedders is... Where is Jedders going? Oh, he's going to pod, which is not what he needs to do, unfortunately. He doesn't have enough keys for any of this to be in logic, I don't think, that he's about to do, but he's just going to go for it, because I don't think he knows what he missed. Alright, into second phase of Argus, and blink and you miss it, Argus is dead. And Jedder's doing a save scum there of that key, because he may want to save that for something later. So we need 3 more crystals on Illus's side, it looks like. He knows where Eastern is, so he'll probably chase that. This town is I don't think we have very many possibilities left. Pyramid crack being one of them. If either runner actually had the means to check the central entrance on the castle when they found it. Well, Illus is the only one that could actually get to it, obviously, but I don't know that he had the means to get into the center entrance at the time, so I don't know if he checked that one. Also, I don't believe we've seen the back of Skullwood's entrance yet. But he's going to go ahead and grab the big bomb and check that first. Oh, Jedders checked it, I guess. So, this is... if he didn't get to check the normal Aghanim's Tower entrance when he was up there before, he will be able to double that up with the big bomb here. So either way, he's probably pretty likely to find Thieves Town in the next couple minutes. Jedders, meanwhile, trying to figure out where he wants to go. It can be really hard to figure out what you skipped when you skip an entrance.
Especially with those cave entrances that in like a open or standard seed you would never actually go into.
He's still thinking of things to do. It looks... Oh, nope, I think he might be in double checking mode right now, which is not a fun place to be.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Alright, so here comes one of our questionable entrances. Big bomb, crack of the pyramid, and there's Thieves Town.
Totally required.
Another dungeon that Illus could be go moding that they will unfortunately not go mode, but at least in Thieves Town you're not losing too much time when you do it. Alright, I'm not really sure what Jedders is doing. He's kind of rechecking things in a haphazard kind of way, so I'm not sure what his thought process is there. Don't know if he ever went through this connector. I don't remember where this went. Yeah, Jedders has both those crystals, but he has no way to get the big bomb to the pyramid without the hammer, so he will not be able to get the bomb there. Yeah, it doesn't have the keys to defeat Aghanim either, so he's pretty much out of business on that. Also, I don't know that he can actually reach Aghanim without the mirror that he's missing, so either way, he's pretty screwed. At least as far as getting the big bomb to there until he finds the hammer. Alright, oh, Jedders is doing the thing. I think he figured out what he skipped. Alright, yep, Jedders is on his way to Mitz. which will lead him down the path that he needs to be. He might actually be in a better position here because he knows. Well, I don't know that he understands where Eastern is via the hint, but well, actually, I don't know. Now Illus only has to go to Ice Palace, and they're gonna finish Eastern 2 probably first. So they're doing pretty good. Jedders has got to do. He's got to take those mitts to King's Tomb. Mitts really don't open a lot for him, so I wouldn't expect it to take him too long to get there. Then he's gonna get the hammer and the mirror out of there, obviously. And then he'll have to do. What will he have to do? Eastern Big Key was in GT as well, I think, right? Or am I misremembering that?
Trying to remember. Oh, nope. According to Jinx, it was in Pod.
Pod.
Oh, and ooh, that's a nice find. Tempered in the Thieves Town big chest.
Oh, it was in the rupee basement of Pod, and he actually had a way back there, and I don't think he went back there. Well, he found GT on his first try.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully he continues through because there are quite a few good items that he needs.
Okay, so him missing the Eastern Palace Big Key is actually kind of a problem on his end, I think, too, as far as playing catch-up. Because he's already done a few things in Pod as well, so he will not be very inclined to go back there right now, I don't think. Oh, Harmless Hellway, never mind. So yeah, but he did save some of the key there, but he is he's done pretty much all of Pod, and he's gonna have very little incentive to go for that. The hammer and the mirror would otherwise have him in a pretty decent position because then he would just need to find Thieves Town and the dam and Eastern and just clear all that. But I think that Eastern Palace Big Key is going to be a bit of a problem for him catching up.
And I believe that the hammer was in Bob's chest, if I remember correctly.
It was. Each has to dip a pendant dungeon, but the one that Illus has to dip is thus far actually undone, like untouched at all, versus Pod, which he's actually gone through a couple times. So he's much more likely to go for that dungeon or Ice Palace before he goes to Pod again. Meanwhile, Jedders has also done a lot of Pod already, so he's much less likely to go for just Pod when he's about to find the hammer and the mirror. He's got a lot of things to check. So if Jedders had already found that Eastern Palace Big Key, I would say he would be in decent shape to catch up, but I think that Eastern Palace Big Key is going to be a problem. Yeah, he would have to. Yeah, he could actually climb GT. His main problem is that if he had that one key he needed, he'd have been able to go mode like every remaining dungeon, just needed to find them, but probably won't do that now. He won't have to kill Aghanim 2, which will make the climb suck a little bit less, but it will be totally unnecessary. So. Alright, so Illus is almost through Eastern. They've done Swamp, they've done Thieves Town. So their most attractive option is going to be Ice Palace, I think. So I don't think it's going to take them too long to get that Harabig. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's going to go for the pendant dungeon he hasn't touched yet versus the pendant dungeon he's already cleared half. I mean, he could make a liar out of me. We'll see. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Looks like he is going to go back to pod and finish that. He's only got to get 4 items out of here, though, so it won't take him too long. Ice Palace is at Witch's Hut. It was literally the first entrance they went into. But Illus has been avoiding it pretty faithfully. And really, I think the only reason that Jedders ended up there was that he was running out of ideas. Alright, Jedders doing the natural thing and taking the hammer left after he found it on the right side. I don't remember if we found anything really important over here that we needed. I think we found some things that were semi-interesting, but not actually important. Meanwhile, Illus is actually going to end up with Gold Sword finally after not having a sword for the longest. Oh yeah, the mirror. That was kind of important, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, now that you mention it. Sorry, it's been like an hour since we found that or something. I forgot. It's been a long day, even though it just started. But we did find this big key that we don't care about because we don't actually need it for anything. Yep, so once Illus finishes Helma here, I would imagine that Ice Palace is going to really be the best option they have left. So I think they'll probably be in go mode pretty soon. Meanwhile, Jedders probably going to be pursuing that mirror pretty hard once he gets it.
It does look like Illus is going through pod, hoping that his last big key is on Helmasaur.
Alright, there's the mirror for Jedders, so suddenly he has many things to do. Not gonna climb at the moment. So Jedders is probably doing some mirror stuff. I feel like they're probably not going to go to pod very soon. Although pod would put them in go mode as far as items if they were to go in there. Well, he would just have to get the he would have to find all the dungeon. So he will find the dam pretty fast here. Probably lead him into swamp next.
Getting a magic bat chest. Check.
I guess Illus is really against going to Ice Palace because he's gonna go ahead and check the magic bat first. Jedders finally getting a tempered sword. Alright, so I think Illus is making the play. He's got the fire rod out. And he's going into this portal, so he should be going into go mode very fast. Meanwhile, Jedders is going somewhere. don't remember what was up here. Oh, a swamp was up here. Just kidding. Yeah, so he's going right to swamp after finding the dam, which makes sense for him. It's not gonna have anything he needs in it, unfortunately.
I believe the book was in swamp, so that might actually take him on some fetch quests.
Well, he's still missing a few dungeons, so I would think he would pursue those first. But meanwhile, we are in go mode for Illus, so all he's got to do is get to Hera, kill Moldorm, and then he can take on Ganon. And he will never find the flute, so he's got to take a connector up there to get to Hera. Oh yeah, Bumper Cave. I was trying to remember which connector this was. So this will take him up to the mountain, and then he'll have to go to the Dark World to get to Hera, which is on the Dark Death Mountain. Jedders, meanwhile, making their way through swamp. Not gonna find the one thing they need out of here, which is the Eastern Palace Big Key, which they would need to go back to Pod for. So they're not going left side, which will save them a little bit of time, but they're still a few dungeon clears behind. They haven't even found all their dungeons yet, so. Alright, Illus almost up to the Moldorm fight, just a couple screens away. That'll be their last crystal before they take the fight to the Big Pig. Gonna run right past the flute because they don't need that today. Meanwhile, Jedders almost to the fight with Argus. Gonna get himself another crystal. And then, well, probably start be checking a few more mirror items. The Argus fight being pretty fast with the tempered sword. And just a couple spins and Argus goes down. Meanwhile, Illus can now make their way to Ganon. Just take this portal. I believe Ganon was at the fairy drop. And again, they never found their flute, so they're going to take this portal to get up there. So, gold swords, silvers, I can't remember if they found red mail. I don't think they did.
No, I don't believe he.
So, and I would say 18 hearts, but they're missing a few of them, so it's more like 9 for them. But I don't expect that to hold them back too far. Meanwhile, Jedders is going to go ahead and check Mimic Cave. And Illus into phase 3.
He has to be a little careful. He does only have 3 hearts.
Yeah, it's usually a little easier to avoid taking damage from this point forward, so as long as he's careful. Phase 2 is the crappy phase, no matter which set of equipment you come in here. Gets the torch glitch, although it's not strictly necessary in this case.
And one more shot.
Alright, get your GGs in chat for Illus.
And it looks like Illus will be joining us in a few minutes. After this seed, I think he needs a little bit of a break.
Meanwhile, Jedders is turning his mirror into a bunch of entrance checks. Really needs to. He's already found the dam and done swamp. Eastern Palace is via a connector on top of the castle, so that would be the next thing. So you clear another dungeon. And then Thieves Town, he has access to the big bomb already. That he could actually combo the big bomb into Thieves Town and then find that connector on top of the castle and make his way to Eastern that way. Still wouldn't give him his Eastern Palace big key, however, which I forgot to mention. This, as far as clearing dungeons, he's got to go back into Palace of Darkness for that. It's probably not going to be something he's going to do anytime soon.
No, I think he's dipped pod a number of times.
Gonna get Thieves Town here pretty soon. He may find Eastern. The real question is, does he assume that it's a vanilla big key, or does he try to wait and go somewhere else to find it? And then the other question becomes, he's already done half a pod and half a vice. Which one does he go for? I think he only has one item left in pod, so that, of course, is the item that he needs. No, 2 items, because he doesn't have the boss. So he runs the risk of dipping pod and, you know, still leaving another item there if it's not the item that he needs. Alright, so Jedders is in Thieves Town. I'm going to full clear this, even though he does not need to. But it'll be another crystal for him.
Yeah, he's probably hoping to find that Eastern Palace big key in Thieves Town.
Yeah, he's kind of going through the same path that Illus was going through for the Hera big key, but for the Eastern big key instead. Just full clearing every dungeon and hoping not to have to go back into those pendants.
Oh, and it looks like Illus is going to be joining us. GG's, Illus.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, and what did you think of the seed?
It was fairly friendly, I must say.
Oh, you think
Like,
so?
Yeah, you had the early boots, and you had like everything thrown at you wherever you went. It was pretty nice. I mean, of course, there was the whole sword situation, but
Yes.
it didn't bother me quite as much. I was a bit irritated when I went into Misery Mire, for example, and I had no valid weapon to clear it. Stuff like that. You're not terribly used to it if you have played mainly the standard modes. So there was that, but in general, I think I liked the seed.
Okay, well that's good because I was getting a little worried that I'd rolled a very horrible seed for the two of you.
Yeah,
at least I liked it. Like there are a lot of real problem items, which you did get in this one, and yeah, as I said, that's why I kind of liked it.
Yeah, Jedders actually had that sword for quite some time since he mimic clipped Palace of Palace of Darkness.
I
Got his
expect
first
nothing
sword out,
less.
but he got a little hung up on the mitts. Accidentally walked by the old man's cave and had to think on it for a little bit before he made it back there.
I was so glad that I chose to go through the old man's cave and save the old man, instead of going through that dark connector, which would have led me I don't know where. Um, I was super happy finding those bits, and I was so glad I dodged a bullet there.
It would have led you to the laser bridge, so you could have gone back out through and gone to it. Jedders actually went through that and then saved and quit, unfortunately, instead of going back. But I don't think he actually had gone into Old Man's Cave, so he didn't know it was there. But yeah, not a bad seed overall. GG, and you will be moving on to another round. Your opponent is not determined, but your opponent will be determined in a few hours, because your next opponent will be either Wolfie or Andy.
That's gonna be interesting. Yeah, Wolfie or Andy both quite tough opponents, possibly. But I'm looking forward to racing them in any case, whoever it might be.
Yep, it's going to be an interesting matchup later. Congrats on moving on. Do you have any other thoughts about the seed or the tournament or anything?
I think it was pretty funny that you found all your footwear early, like the boots and the flippers, and yeah, I kind of wish that I hadn't been so hung up on clearing efficiency. Like I really thought that the Hera Big Key would be an Ice Palace, but while I was there, I figured, yeah, my two Palace of Darkness, you know, those 6 keys are kind of suspicious, and then might do bad because I'm nearby, and I should have just gone to Ice Palace instead.
Yeah, it's actually unfortunate for different reasons. You and Jedders both ended up not go moding the various dungeons. You could have go moded Thieves Town, Swamp. You could have go moded both of those, and unfortunately, both of you did not do that because of the different big keys you were missing. Oh, and I guess you could have go moded Eastern as well, huh?
Well, I guess, but in Cross Keys it rarely happens that you can go mod your crystal dungeons anyway, and it was not quite a go mode, but you could skip a lot of stuff, for example in Swamp Palace or in Misery Maya, and then it almost felt like go mode. So I don't mind at all.
Yeah, Jedders is still missing his Eastern Palace big key out of the back pocket, but he's done pretty much everything in there already, so he's probably not looking to go back there anytime soon.
Where was that big key again?
Harmless Hellway.
Oh, right.
So he actually found that Hera big key a while ago because he was stuck without those mitts, so he dove in Ice Palace before he had his hammer.
Oof. Yeah, I can see that. I can see why there's a time difference like this.
Yeah, Jedders should actually be finding Eastern Palace pretty soon. Doesn't have the big key. Question is, does he try to bank on it being vanilla, or does he explore other options? He only has like 2 things left in Palace of Darkness, and I think he can only reach one of them. I'm not sure how many keys he still has left. He also has a few other like random things he could do, and he could finish Ice Palace, although we know that's not going to be the answer for him.
Ew, Ice Palace.
Is Ice Palace one of the dungeons you hate to go into, Illus?
Definitely.
Okay.
Like it's not that bad if I have all the means to clear it, but especially if I don't have a hammer or gloves. I think like, oh god, is the seed gonna force me again to do Ice Palace without being able to clear it, because it's just such a pain to get back to it, like to the heart of where the items are. And I don't know, I never liked it, and I don't think I ever will.
So I forgot there was a Palace of Darkness key on Bumper Ledge, so Jedders actually could get both items out of Pod if he wanted to. But he is going to bank on the vanilla key. It looks like going to be a little disappointed in this case.
Yeah, because I think it was pretty much garbage in the in those first 4 chests that he could actually check in Eastern without the big key.
Yeah, all he needs is the big key to this dungeon, so he's definitely not going to find
Nope.
what he's looking for here. So that extra pod key might make him go back there. It's not too far away from where he is technically, so he may want to do that. Ice Palace is only a flute away for him as well, since he does have the flute.
Where was that?
That was in Hera.
Oh, makes
It's
sense.
the big chest, I believe, that you skipped because you were in go mode.
Yeah, makes total sense. I wouldn't have activated it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jedders found it since he was following the Ice Palace chain there before he got to the mitts. Didn't unlock anything for him really, unfortunately, but he has been able to flute around a little bit easier. Alright, so Jedders is almost to the end of the line here. A couple more rooms for Eastern. We'll see which one of his not so attractive options he chases next. I think he has a lot of random stuff he hasn't checked yet as well, besides the dungeon possibilities. Alright, well, he's fluting, so this doesn't seem like a pod thing. Nope. He is up on the mountain. I don't know that he's checked the Hera entrance, but he's definitely got the ether tablet, I think, that he could do.
Yep, he might be going on a wild goose chase with that book.
Oh yeah, Hera entrance was old man, duh, so he's definitely done that. So probably just the ether tablet. He may not. I don't think he's checked any all of Dark Death Mountain yet either. I'm not sure, or there may be something like up there that he could be doing. May have already done ether tablet since he ran right by it. I might have missed that. He's got something in mind up here, but I'm not sure what. We know Turtle Rock entrance was junk. Looks like he's gonna check that first. I'm not sure if he. I think he came out of a floating island at some point, so I think he's already checked this stuff up. So this, I think, is the only thing that he hasn't checked on top here is this Turtle Rock entrance.
By the way, at some point I was fervently looking for Thieves Town because it was a crystal I could clear and everything, and I just couldn't find it until I only had one entrance left, and that was the bomb shop, or the crack in the pyramid, and I was pretty sad to see that.
Yeah, that's kind of a nasty location to find a dungeon that's required.
Well, at
Yeah,
least
I was starting to get worried that I might have mismarked something. In Crosskeys, that's kind of death.
Yeah, kiss of death
So,
for sure.
So I was happy that it was in there at the very least.
It sort of beats taking the big bomb to the pyramid, not knowing you need to do it though for sure. Just knowing that you're actually going to find something. All right, so Jedders is climbing GT, which is unfortunate because he does not need to do this.
Yep, he's not going to find anything he's looking for.
I mean, he's only got 2 items in pod, and he's got the rest of Ice Palace, so this may be, in his eyes, one of the last-ditch options. He may just figure that, it's worth a shot. He doesn't have to kill Agatu, so he's only got to get these 4 items out of here, and then he can dip back out of here and go to his next destination. Just going to be a bit of a time sink for him. Looks like he's actually mimic clipping for the hell of it, though, so that's kind of fun. Very good at his mimic clips, so almost as fast as doing the bow strats.
He's so good at this, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, spending a little extra time in this room. Maybe struggling a little bit more here, but he's going to keep going. He's got all the time in the world after all. So. We do know the mushroom is up here, so that's that's 1 item out of the 4 that we could, chase for. We do have 2 more races coming up. One is at 3 p.m. on Zelda Speedruns. That's Top Life and somebody, isn't it? Let me see. Top Life and Dracaris, and then immediately following that one with a 15-minute break will be Andy and Wolfie. Anywhere from 5:30 to 6 probably, depending on how the other race shakes out. Alright, so I don't know, we're not really missing anything else besides the mushroom. I don't even know if we're missing any. I mean, I guess we're missing a few random small keys that he could find up here as well that we haven't seen yet. We never did find the other castle tower key. I think we're still missing a Turtle Rock key. Or no, well, the Turtle Rock key's not going to be up here actually because all 4 of them lock the bow. So where is the other Turtle Rock key actually? Maybe, but we never did get another Agatower key to get the key on Lumberjack either. So for my vote, the key on Lumberjack would actually probably be an Ice Palace key. Because the other Castle Tower key could probably seems likely to be up here. Or well, actually, I guess the other Turtle Rock key is probably just deeper into Ice Palace. Now that I think about it. I only see 3 marked on Illus's tracker. It's got all 4 GT keys. Don't worry, I've made that mistake here and there. So I would expect the last Turtle Rock key that locks the bow to be further into Ice Palace. Maybe the other Castle Tower keys in there. I don't know. I think it's pretty likely that the Well, I guess it could be still be the Turtle Rock key in
Oh, there's the mushroom.
in the Lumberjack Ledge if the other Castle Tower key is further into Ice Palace as well. So this could be an aggro required seed technically. We'll see what this last chest is here. Maybe that'll tell us something. Looks like we're going to hover to it instead of hooking to it. Maybe.
Or maybe not. Oh, just a piece of heart.
Alright, so yeah, I guess it is possible that that's a Turtle Rock key on the Lumberjack Ledge if the Castle Tower key is further into Ice Palace. Looks like Jedders has finally decided to throw in the towel on that one. See if he wants to come in here and talk to us.
Just asking if he wants to join us for an interview. Oh, he said sure, so he should be joining us shortly. And we'll get to see what he thinks of the seed. Probably not as highly as Illus did. Oh, and hold on, he should be joining us in a moment. GG's Jedders. So I need to ask, what did you think of the seed?
Wasn't bad.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, if I had not made the mistake, so what happened was, when I went to go do Pyramid, I said I was going to check that front entrance on the way back, and then I skipped it. And if I had went there, the seed wouldn't have been as bad for me, because, you know, that was Titan's Mitts behind the old man, but such is life.
The key you're looking for is in Harmless Hellway, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been ice, it could have been pod, it could have been top of GT. So I just my last attempt was just, you know, pick something and see if it's there, and then if it wasn't there, I was just gonna throw in the towel, because there's a few dungeons left to kind of clear out.
Yeah, this will unfortunately eliminate you from the tournament. Had a pretty decent run, but so there can only be one, as the saying goes. So GG on your run so far. Any other thoughts about the seed or the tournament or anything in general?
Not really. I mean, I got much farther than expected. You know, Cross Keys I started playing Cross Keys just for this tournament, and you know, I didn't even expect to get this far. So it was nice to at least progress somewhat.
Yeah, we're in the same boat. GG, by the way.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's to both of you. It was a great race, in spite of the trolley items.
And thanks to our trackers, Jinxie Girl and Breeze Ninja. Thanks to Norinato for co-commenting with me.
Yeah.
And
glad I could help you out instead of yes. And I was glad to help you, because sometimes doing single comms can be a little confusing.
It can be hard to catch everything for sure. But stay tuned to Zelda speedruns. To Zelda speedruns for the next race, which will be Top Life and Dracaris, and then immediately following that one, probably around 5:30 or 6, will be Andy and Wolfie. The Dracaris and Top Life race should be starting at 3 p.m.
Yes, and if you would like to help out, I linked the Discord. We're always looking for people to volunteer to either track and or commentate, so that would be much appreciated. And anything else from anyone?
It was fun, and thank you guys for commentating and tracking.
My pleasure.
It's
Yeah.
I've come a lot further than I thought I would as well. So it could have been the other way around, and yeah, I had fun.
That's good.
That's basically what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Yeah, and good luck versus either Wolfie or Andy, whoever.
Yeah, I'll probably
will be
need
your
it.
next opponent.
Probably need it, yeah.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today and wish the best to both runners. And please make sure to give both of them at least a follow, because this was a great race, and you know, I'm sure it would be much appreciated. So thanks again, and I guess we'll call it a night. And if you hang around for a little bit longer, in just under 20 minutes, the next match should be starting up. So thank you.